Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to try and do this as fast as possible. This one's called War. The second one I was going to write today was Found 5. I started writing it, didn't get to finish. And we're about to go to sleep because it's my brother's birthday tomorrow and my mom wants us fully rested so that we could have a nice night as a family. So, yeah. Brother's birthday tomorrow, that's going to be fun. Which means I'll do the second video sometime between now and Thursday, hopefully as soon as possible, to make up for Saturday. Anyway, this was a new series, and I hope you guys enjoyed, because I've had this idea for a little bit, and I was inspired by something I watched, which I'll try and look down below. Not an expert at YouTube, but hey, let's hurry up. War. Marinette was forgiving. That was not surprising. Recently, they had found Hawkmoth's lair. They found his identity. Adrien was upset, but he never really cared for his father. His father was cold and distant. It in fact came with advantages. Adrien was 18, so he inherited everything and had less rules. He could have friends over. He could be out late. He was still responsible, but he felt free. Since Hawkmoth had to be more careful, they often had fights with Mayura. She made many sentient monsters. They were controlled by her until she was beat. Chat Noir had thought Ladybug destroyed the charms, but no. She had been letting them go, even taking care of them, teaching them, loving them. Marinette was helping them. She thought it was unfair that they were made and destroyed, and it wasn't their fault. She only made 2 rules. Be good, don't reveal her identity. Other than that, they were free. They could have gone, but instead stayed near her. They lived in the shadows and spent the nights with Marinette. As much as she took care of them, they took care of her. When she was down, they took care of her. She held the charms, never once taking advantage of them. She only held them to make sure no harm would be done and her identity stayed secret. The monsters, or as she called them, mines, were very trusting. They had seen how bad some people were. They were family. They watched her every day. They made sure she was happy and out of harm. They didn't love when she was Ladybug. They felt worried for her. When they saw Lila and her, they almost went down and ripped her up. If it wouldn't hurt Marinette, they would have. This all changed when Marinette was hurt as Ladybug. Mayura had gave her a fatal hit. Marinette hit the wall and went down. She passed out. The mines were angry. Like really angry. They ignored the rule and went down like an army. They signaled for the rest. Let's just say years of battles led to a lot of them. They stood by Ladybug. Chat Noir was shocked. They trusted Chat. He was always good to her. So they let him through. The city watched in shock. So many. They forced Mayura to surrender. The monsters went into rage. Marinette was watched over so well. They took Marinette from Chat Noir. Each mind had a power, similar to how Chat had a cataclysm or Ladybug and her lucky charm. They made a flower bed similar to the one where Emily was found. They placed her in flowers and put her in the middle of the park. Marinette fell into a coma. News drones went to a bird's eye view just as she detransformed. Marinette was there, and finally everyone knew. A few minutes later, the park where Marinette was lying was filled with the mines. They let in the people who were good to her. They let her parents and friends through. Finally, Chat was recharged. He bolted to her. They let him in, and he was so worried. He sat next to her and grabbed her hand. The mines had captured Mayura and Hawkmoth and put them in jail. There was no more threats. Chat Noir let go of his transformation, surprising everyone. They were shocked. He had no energy to explain. He was scared for many reasons. They did not realize, but the mines were locking up everyone who had ever did wrong. They were dragging Chloe and Lila. They were beating up Natalie and Gabriel. Anyone who had ever caused Marinette pain. The mines were rampaging. Marinette was the only one who they trusted, and she was down. She was hurt. They were called mines because they had blank minds when they were made. They only did as they learned. The only thing Marinette forgot to prepare them for was losing her. They never imagined a life without her. They couldn't properly function without her. When Adrien heard screaming from his childhood friend, he saw a few dozen people who had wronged Marinette. The mines grew more worried for her. Marinette stayed unconscious. Adrien could no longer ignore his old friends. They may have been not the best people, but they didn't deserve to suffer. He transformed and stood in front. "Stop," he said. "These people hurt Marinette. They hurt her, we hurt them," one of them said. He understood their anger. "That is true. These people are not great. But tell me, would Marinette want this? Would she be proud?" "Marinette never liked violence," he said. They agreed. "Fine, but if Marinette dies, whoever she has ever complained about falls. If she goes, you all go," the mind said, walking back to Marinette's side. She was in pain. She was hurt. She was pretending to be okay. She could have easily got rid of us, but she didn't. All those nights were sad, but she took care of us. She is our family, and we will protect her. And I have to leave it here because I have to go to bed now, and I'm kind of rushing this, so I'm sorry I read it too fast. There might be little mistakes because I wrote this, in between classes while waiting for teachers and stuff, so it's a bit rushed, but I'm sorry. Anything else? Oh yeah, question of the day. If you I don't know. What's your dream place to visit? Like your next dream holiday, where would you want to go? I'll answer in the next video. Bye, see you tomorrow.